up guys, this is Adam from 3dmozworld.com. Welcome to another Maya tutorial, and today we're gonna create this really cool wall destruction tutorial. Basically we're gonna, as you can see, we're gonna have this truck going through the wall and destroying it into a million pieces. So it's a really fun tutorial. We're gonna experiment with lots of a new technique. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this how to approach this kind of scene, how to do it really well from first time without any headaches or problems. So without further delay, let's get started. Okay, so this is the scene I have. I'll show you guys quickly. So now this is in perspective, and you can see the truck here, and we have the ground. And you know, the truck gonna be going through the wall. So this is animation. Now we don't have any, of course, simulation on it, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's go back to the camera and then check the animation from here. Let me check the truck and the ground. The truck seems maybe a little bit floating. No, the wheel's actually touching the ground here, so that's good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is let's start breaking this wall apart. We want to make sure we just break, and we want the simulation to be happening just on the parts where the truck hits. Everything else we don't need to do anything about it. So first let's select this truck and let's add it to a new layer, and let's call this layer like truck geo. Doesn't like this. Okay, it's underscore geo. Okay, that's good. So let's template this truck, so this way I can select it. And let's do the same thing with the ground. Let's add a new layer, and then let's call it ground, and let's make it reference. So, and this is the wall. So let's start adjusting these settings here. So first let's run the script that we created here at 3dmoz World, the poly shattering generator. So if you're not familiar with this script is really handy. We created it, basically shatters any objects you want, and you can shatter as many pieces as you need, and it's pretty stable and pretty cool. I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you guys can check it out, and if you like it, you can feel free to purchase it. It's inexpensive. Okay, so let's select the wall, and then let's click shatter it, and let's go shading, wireframe and shader, so we can see what's going on here. So we created here two pieces now, so let's select both of them and then shatter again, and then let's basically keep selecting and shattering. We need to break enough parts that we get this section here where the truck, that's where we need to get the stuff shattered the most. So let's keep shattering until we get like a shape we're happy with, then we can start hiding the stuff we don't need. So let's shatter this one, and let's cut this one as well multiple times. So we keep shattering this section until we get it, and let's do this one as well. So let's select all, and then let's shatter again, select all, shatter. Now I'm gonna keep shattering basically until I get everything become really as small pieces as possible. So now let's see. So now we created this, so I'm gonna start hiding the stuff we're not gonna have simulation in. So let's select these guys here. Let's see this one. So this is basically the final shape gonna be, so let's keep this one here. Let's see, so this we're gonna keep it. Let me just break it apart. You know, let's just break it apart a little bit more to get something looks interesting. Let's break this guy apart as well. Let's see, so I'm trying now to just basically artistically pick up shape that looks nice. So let's see, so this looks pretty good. This shape here is gonna be like this is outline gonna be what's gonna be left. Okay, so once we have this guy selected here, let's group them, and then let's call them, you know, wall non-dynamic. This is actually gonna be dynamic, but let's just go this way. So you can see here all the mid sections here get created, and then let's do the same here. Let's hide all the pieces. Let's see what kind of shape we want to create. So I want to keep this one, so let's shatter it more. You know, just let's get more better shapes here before we start hiding anything, because that's important. Just get some nice looking shape. And let's see, so that looks pretty good. Maybe this line is like too straight like that, so it looks not natural. So let's see what we can do about this. Let's shatter it a bit more. We just want to make sure it kind of looks like some nice shapes we're getting. Okay, so let's see, let's select this again. Okay, we don't want to select these guys, so let's make sure. Okay, that's good. So this is the final shape. Let's see, I like this one better. So these guys are gonna be hidden. I'm just trying to see the outline of the truck with the outline here of the wall. So that's pretty good. So let's group these guys, and then let's just copy this name, paste it here, and then call it like 1. This is just rough naming. Okay, so now we have these shapes. Basically these shapes have all the wall that's gonna be dynamic. Okay, so that's good. So now let's start selecting these guys. So now let's see, we have like around 400 pieces. Let's select all these, and then let's run the script on them, and then let's run it again, and just basically keep running. Important thing is this midsection here. We want to have like the most pieces get broken. So I'm just gonna keep selecting and breaking apart these parts here, just to make it the most pieces here. And then we just break these as many as we want. You know, it's all depends on the look you guys are going after. You know, there's not really, there is a little bit science to this, how things break. You know, but we're doing this for artistic reasons, and just want to control, have like some nice looking stuff, but without going too crazy, because your computer might be really like gets super slow and weird. So I want to be careful. Let's see, but let's just select these middle sections again and just break apart as much as we can. Now I don't want pieces to be like too long, so I'm gonna try to look for pieces that they're really long and like big, like this long piece here. We don't want this piece to be like this long, so let's cut it. Let's see, let's cut pieces here, just keep this you know, this part doesn't it's not the most fun part of this tutorial. I know, like it's pretty straightforward, but actually you can enjoy it, like being kind of creative and having fun, like cutting these pieces and see how you're gonna get like you know, the shapes that you're looking for to get everything looks like nice and fun. So enjoy every step of the process, guys. Don't it's really fun. Let's see, so let's cut this pieces as well. Let's keep just cutting these pieces. So how many pieces do we have? Let's see, so we have like over 1,000 pieces. I think this is enough for now. This is gonna be some really nice simulation we're gonna get here. Let's select all the pieces we just created, and then let's group them, and let's call this like wall shards. Okay, so now, because this is gonna have all the simulation gonna happening here. Okay, so that's cool. So now before we start doing the simulation, we need to work on how this truck gonna be destroying this wall here. And the thing is, sometimes you get the geo that's really like heavy. Like for example, this geo is not really heavy. It's not that high poly, but sometimes you get like super high poly models and with millions of faces, and you can't have that dynamic applying to them directly, because that's gonna be really generally not a good idea, might causing some issues for you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create like some kind of shell representing this truck, and then we're gonna have this truck you know, driving this shell, and then this shell is gonna be the one that's destroying this wall. So to make it easier to understand, I'm just gonna go create a polygon cube, And then let's scale this cube, and then I'm gonna create this shell right away now. It's gonna be like a basic modeling stuff. So let me make sure the truck is referenced. I don't select it by accident. And let's start playing with this vertices, basically to get it roughly to look like the truck. It's gonna be like rough, so let's go to modeling, let's go to mesh tools, insert edge loop. You know, this is not to be, doesn't have to be like super perfect, but let's get it as close as we can to represent this truck shape. Okay, so let's create another edge loop in here. And then let's create another edge loop here. Let's press 4, and then I just gonna raise this guy up, and then I need another edge loop here. Yeah, this gonna quickly, we're gonna have some good amount of edge loops now, trying to match this shape, but it's gonna be fun. Okay, so something like this will do. You know, this is rough, so we don't need to worry too much about getting the details of the truck. We just want to get the general shape, and this is gonna speed up the simulation as well for us, so we don't have to you know, if you like have a project that you don't have much you know, CPU power and things, that's gonna be really good. It's gonna help you get good results without having too much stress on the computer. Okay, let's look at the ground here. Let's see, raise this up. And then raise this guy like that. Okay, this is good. So we roughly start to get something. Just gonna push these vertices. Wanna make sure this one kind of like the width, you know, as close as possible. You might need an edge loop in here to push some pieces. I'll like raise them up. This guy. It's gonna look funny, this shape, but it will do the job. Okay, so we start to get something in here. Let's push this more like this way. Now, as you can see, the mirrors is a little bit out, so we could make like this kind of shape here. We want to keep the shape as basic as possible for fast simulation, but also, you know, it depends on your project, but you know, we just wanna let's open these guys. This is not the best modeling, but as long as like the shape looks the same or like similar basically, then you're good. So this is pretty good. Now we have this shell representing the truck. So let's delete the history on it. We don't need the history too much. And now what we're gonna do is let's do the following. So let's convert this into like a kinematics rigid body. So let's first call this like a rigid body for kinematic, and then so this is good. So let's go to the effects and then the bullet here. If you don't find this here, then you're gonna go Windows, setting preferences, plugin manager, and then if you scroll down, you're gonna see here the bullet bonder. So you activate it and should show up. So let's go to bullet, and then let's go to the active rigid body, and then let's reset the settings here. Okay, and then in the settings here, we want to make sure we change into hull. So we want to make sure this way, not a box. So this way it kind of takes the same shape of this amazing shape we just created. So let's change it from the body type then to kinematic instead of dynamic. So this kinematic, so we can have some animation going on. So apply and close. Everything here, some errors, that's fine, it's all good. And then what we're gonna do here in this wall shards, we're gonna select all of them, all these pieces we just created, and then let's look at them here, and then we're gonna convert these guys from to active rigid body, like here, to the like basically dynamic rigid body. But we don't want to use this rigid body through the active. We're gonna use it from the rigid set, because now we have 800 pieces. If we're gonna adjust the settings, we have to go through each one of them, and that's like insane. So the way to do is we go to rigid sets. This is gonna give us really nice options and will allow us to adjust. Just one option is gonna apply to everything in here. So let's go to the option box, reset the settings here, and let's call this like a wall rigid set. Okay, apply and close. So now we have they disappear, which is a good sign. Everything here is good. So let's press play and see what happens. So now everything goes to pieces, the shell stay in the back, everything's perfect. So still we have to adjust the settings here to make it work. So what we're gonna do first is let's go to the wall here. You can see the bullet solver of course get created, and then let's do some quick settings here, tweaks on the bullet solver. First, the most important one is the internal fixed frame rate. This is the quality of the simulation. So let's change it from the default 60 Hz to 120. This is gonna give you some nice results. It's gonna basically calculate better the simulation. So this is good. Now let's go to the wall rigid set here we created. The initial state, basically you have these three attributes that we always work with. You get the rigid, the initial condition, and then collision attribute. Those are really important. So first, let's go to this collision shape, change it from box to hull. So basically, this gonna be the dynamic shapes will match more accurately the shapes of the geo. And then we're gonna click on glue shapes. So basically this is gonna glue these guys together, and then the threshold of the breaking, that's how much they can stick with each other before they break, and the constraints is how much they influence each other. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna change this to something like 4, and then here we can keep it 6, and then we're gonna put first initially sleeping. So basically nothing gonna happen unless something affect these guys. So let's press play and see. So as you can see, they're static, they don't move at all, which is a good sign. And then for the mass, the default mass, it's 1. Let's change that to like something like 5. Okay, so this is all good. So we're gonna select now our kinematic rigid body we just created, which is, where is it? This guy. And then let's go to the shape here, and then we're gonna change the mass. So we changed the mass on the bricks to have them around 5. So let's make this guy 20. So have much more mass, so the effects on them will be very powerful. And no initially sleeping, everything here we can keep it the same, we don't need to worry about that. And then let's select the ground. While we already doing the settings, let's select the ground here, and let's make it passive rigid body here. Let's select passive, reset the settings, we can keep everything the same, apply and close. And let's see what happened. Is there anything happening here? Everything stayed, so that's really good sign. So now we need to have this this kinematic rigid body basically going like same as the truck. So there is multiple ways you can do this. You can animate it, you can just keyframe and match the same values, but I don't recommend doing that. You could do it, it will work, it's not gonna be a problem, but the best way, if you have like a more complicated animation, you don't want to be keyframing everything. You want to make sure there's an easier way. So the best way is basically we can select the truck geo here, and then select the kinematic rigid body, and then we do a parent constraint. So let's go to animation, and let's go constraint, parent constraint, and let's reset the settings here and make sure you have maintain offset. So this way nothing gonna just pop up or anything weird gonna happen. So let's click add, and let's see what's gonna happen now. Okay, so as you can see, the truck now is the shell is moving with the truck, and it hits successfully the wall. So let's go back to this here, to the main camera. Okay, so nice. They fly through the camera. It's like a Hollywood style. It's pretty cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is let's start playing with the bullet solver here, because now it feels like a bit slow, not like really realistic. They kind of like they fly like forever. So how will we do this? So the best way to do this is basically you adjusting in the bullet solver here, the shape node, you go to the gravity and then you start playing with the numbers here. So let's change that to 29, minus 29. Okay, so you can see it have more weight now. Let's play this again. So that's pretty cool. But let's go even more. Let's add another 20 units. So minus 49. Ah, that feels better. Let's become these have more weight. Okay, so now let's go to this wall rigid. And then let's start playing with this glue breaking thresholds. So let's increase it to make it like 12. And let's see what's happened. So some pieces now you can see here they stuck with each other. Here they start to do a little bit weird. So let's see, we might need to keep tweaking this. But I do like pieces stuck with each other. But we want them to break though. We don't want them to stay together. We could animate this. But let's keep going and find a number that we don't need to animate it. That will does the job. And let's increase the simulation like 200. Not 20, 200. Okay, and let's press play. We might need to do play blast to get more accurate settings. I kinda like this one a bit. Let's see. Let's deselect everything and I'm gonna do a quick play blast and see how it looks like. Okay, let's play. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I do like this chunk in here at the top, how they glued together and then when it hits the ground it breaks some part of it. That's pretty cool. But let's make it weaker. This glue, let's make it maybe 8. Let's see. Nice, so now it breaks, better breaking. Okay. And then one another thing, let's play with the friction. Let's increase it all the way to 1, because now it's kind of a bit sliding things around too much. Let's see here, we want to get more stable simulation. Okay. So my computer is a little bit having a little bit of a hard time because I'm recording and doing this, so it's not doing the most accurate simulation. But let's decrease this to like 7, the glue. Oh, 7 maybe it's too much. Let's have it 8 and then let's increase constraint to 7. Maybe 9 was actually good, so let's go back to 9. So you can see guys, it's all experimenting at this stage. It's all just about experimenting to finding what's the best settings that can get you some cool effects. There is no like magic numbers to get this stuff to work real nice. You kind of have to experiment and see. I'll keep increasing the threshold, but now you have like this too much big pieces. Let's change it back to 2 and then let's see what's happened when we put it to 2. Okay, so you can see it breaks a lot more. So maybe we went too much when we did like 9 or 10, so let's go to 4. We're gonna tone it down now. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let's see. The friction, maybe we went too much with it, so let's tone it down to 0.7. Okay, and let's work on also the bullet solver. Let's increase the, let's make it heavier, so -59. Okay, so that's good. That's like make the simulation also more stable. Let's try if we go like 89, and let's see how much this affect. This looks pretty good too. So now we're just I'm gonna keep experimenting, until I get like something that looks pretty sweet. But maybe 89 is like too much, so let's go like 69. And then one more thing we want to do here is let's go back to this wall stuff we created here, and let's show them. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reselect all these pieces here, and then I'm gonna add them as let's go to effects, to the bullet. Let's create like an active rigid body. Let's go to bullet, and then let's create a passive rigid body, basically, so this way they can be exactly like the ground. So, but we want to make sure we change it to hull and create, apply and close. We don't need to create rigid set for these guys because it's just it's the basic settings we're gonna have. And the same thing here. Let's go bullet, passive rigid body, hull, apply and close. So this way the new guys, when they destroy, they're gonna be interacting with these guys as well. So you can see it looks pretty cool. We have this truck now going through the wall, and looks pretty nice. Now what we can do, we don't want to have this shell to be showing all the time, so we can basically click on this visibility and change it to 0. So this way we turn it off, and you can see now the truck is really going through this wall and destroying it. Let's see. So let's do a quick play blast and take a look at this one. Okay, so let's play. So it looks pretty cool. Like a nice impact you get. Like you can see the pieces kinda stay on the truck, some of them, but it looks believable. It doesn't feel like it's there's something off. Of course, this is not like very realistic simulation, but it's pretty good. It will give you a really good idea if you have a project that requires some kind of simulation. It's gonna give you some really good tips, so you guys can do that easily. It didn't take us that long to create this pretty cool simulation here in Maya using the bullet physics. And of course, thanks to the script that we really worked hard to create. So this is gonna be a script really helpful for you guys. It will allow you to do this kind of simulation, because the most important thing, as you saw, is basically to break this wall apart and artistically basically decide how the shape's gonna look like. And that's really the script allow you to quickly create this kind of simulation and this kind of breaking the pieces. And you can see we went like over 1100 pieces really easily, without any problems having or Maya crashing or anything. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, it's pretty fun, not too hard. If you have any questions, of course you can always ask me. I'll be happy to answer you guys. So hopefully this tutorial helped you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when I publish a new video. Feel free to check our website 3dmozworld.com for more tutorials and cool 3D assets. Until next time, take care.